Hello, my name is Mr. Steer. I'm Head of Geography at Port Vale Academy, and I'm joined by another teacher called Miss Bailey. And I'm here to talk to you about why you should be thinking about geography as a GCSE option. So geography is all about helping you make sense of the world around you. It's very hands-on, it's very topical, it's very relevant, and it is really interesting. It's about the world around us. It's a very broad subject, so it's got a huge range of very different topics. So I enjoy teaching it because every lesson is different, every week is different. There's always something completely different to look at. So we study human geography topics such as urban problems, solutions, issues of world development, the growth and decline of settlements, transport developments, but we also study physical geography, which is more science-based, and we look at extreme environments, whether that's deserts or rainforests, how rivers work, coasts, floods, weather, climate change hazards. So the geography is endless, basically. It's the study of the world, and it's going to give you the chance to get to grip with some of the big questions that affect us and the world around us. Okay, so it helps us make sense of this very complex world that we live in. For me, geography is very relevant. It's the news. So whenever I switch the news on, it's about how we affect the planet or how the planet affects us. So that could be about wildlife. It could be about transport development. So we might learn about this new super train called HS2, 250 miles an hour, costing over £100 billion, and it's going to go through Nottingham. Is that going to help Nottingham people connect with London and create economic growth? It might be about air pollution. It might be about climate change, which is always at the forefront of our thoughts. It might be about hazards such as volcanoes, hurricanes, storms. It might even be about the pandemic, you know, how that's a consequence of our increased globalization and connectivity with other countries. Our trade relationships with other countries, especially now since we've left the EU. So geography is always about the news. Right, if you study geography, you will learn some very adaptable, flexible thinking skills, and that will put you in really good stead for life after school. Many colleges and employers value the flexibility of a geographer and their broad education. In fact, it was named by the Russell Group as one of the 8 most important facilitating subjects to get you into higher education, college and university. Okay. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we will go on 2 field trips. If you're studying geography and that's about the world around us, that's about the world outside the classroom. So we do need to get out of the classroom. Obviously, that's very challenging at the moment, but fingers crossed that situation will change and we will be able to get our students out. We will do a human trip to the beautiful Peak District to look at how a river changes along its course. We're going to get some fresh air and see some nature. And then also we want to go and have a look at another city that's completely different to Nottingham. So we're going to study Sheffield in a bit of depth, and we go and meet lots of people in Sheffield, lots of organisations, and we look at how Sheffield has revitalised its economy after the recession of the 1980s, and how it's tried to adapt to many changes that are affecting Britain's economy today. That might come with a slight cost. We're not talking about a lot, but we're talking about maybe £10 contribution just towards the coach fare, that's all. But again, if that's an issue, you can always talk to myself or the school. Okay. So how is the course assessed? There are 3 exam papers at the end of 3 years. You do need to be tested on your knowledge of physical geography, how the world works from a natural point of view. You then will be tested on your human geography, which you study in year 10, which is your understanding of the complex economies of the world and how we make money and how we trade and how we interact with people and how we build cities and settlements and solve problems. And then you will have a paper 3, which is a skills-based paper. And it will ask you about how you got on your field trip, what new skills you learned, what data you handled, what measurements you carried out, what you discovered about the world outside Top Valley. So there are 3 papers we need to revise for and prepare for, but hopefully that helps as well, that it breaks it down into 3 different areas, and you hopefully find that you are good at least at 1 or 2 of those areas, rather than just all in one big exam. Okay, so you might have lots of questions feel free to drop me an email if you have any specific questions about geography, or you can contact school and I can get back to you. I hope you found this talk interesting. I hope geography is something you will consider, because I do think it's a very relevant subject, and it can help you in employment, it can help you at college, and it is something different. Every week, every month, we might be moving on to a new topic, and it will keep you interested over 3 years. Okay, right, thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.